On October 13, the United Nations Maritime Dispute Resolution Court ruled in favor of the maritime border between the East African country of Somalia and Kenya. The court's ruling on the 100,000 square kilometer maritime border was largely in Somalia's favor. Somali Information Minister Osman Dubi welcomed the court's verdict in a Twitter message and congratulated the Somali people. The BBC is reminded that the two countries were in conflict over the possibility of getting oil and gas in the middle of the sea. In 2009, the two countries agreed to resolve their differences through unbrokered talks. Al Jazeera says that after 2 rounds of talks in 2014, Kenya abandoned the third round of talks and Somalia went to the International Court of Justice. Kenya called for a demarcation line east of the border between the two countries. And Somalia wanted the border to be demarcated along the sea between the two countries. International court judges have drawn a line between the two proposals. They did not get what Somalia wanted. However, they are happy with the verdict. Because they got a lot of what they wanted. Kenya, on the other hand, refused to give up any part of what it wanted. Kenya told the court that the agreement reached with Somalia in 2009 created obligations on both countries. On the other hand, the court said that Kenya could not prove that Somalia accepted Kenya's proposed territorial waters in that agreement. Kenya has not attended a court hearing since March this year. They also denied having a Somali on a panel of 14 judges. The Kenyan government called the case a flawed legal process, and they say that there is an underlying bias in it. Somalia's Deputy Prime Minister, Mohammed Guld, told the BBC that Somalia had come to the court because it believed in the rule of law internationally. But the problem is that there is a gap between the words of the Somali Deputy Prime Minister and the court's capacity. Because this court cannot force any country to implement the verdict, Kenya has already rejected the court's ruling. So many are skeptical about the future of implementing this ruling. Kenya says it is also ready to fight to protect the seas. The BBC says Somalia does not have a navy like Kenya, but Somalia has friends. In this situation, there is a possibility of further talks between the two countries, as well as the possibility of closing down the diplomatic channel. But war may be the last option. Al Jazeera reminds us that there is enough conflict between the two countries. Somalia has been accusing Kenya of interfering in the internal politics of the area near the Somali border. In 2019, Kenya summoned its ambassador from Mogadishu to Somalia for allegedly selling controversial oil and gas blocks off the coast. At the same time, Kenya reminded that thousands of Kenyan troops are deployed in Somalia to fight al-Shabaab. Somalia severed ties with Kenya in December 2020, when the separatist region of Somalia welcomed the leadership of Somaliland to Kenya. However, in August 2021, the two countries re-established relations. But the maritime ruling between the two countries carries a different meaning, when Somalia's most influential friend, Turkey, is named. Turkey has invested heavily in Somalia. Many of the country's most important infrastructures in particular are now under Turkish management. Turkey has also built a large military base there to train the Somali army. Thousands of Somali students are now studying at Turkish universities. In January 2020, Turkish media NTV reported that Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan had said that Somalia had invited Turkey to help extract oil and gas off the Somali coast. He added that his government would take various steps to start operations there. In fact, One of the agreements signed by Somalia with Turkey in 2016 was to extract energy and mineral resources. Turkish energy analyst Rami Kopa says the agreement was presented to the Turkish parliament in January 2019, despite efforts to delay it in a failed coup in 2016. On the other hand, in February 2020, the Somali parliament passed the Somali Petroleum Act. This gave birth to the Somalia Petroleum Authority. Rami Cooper says the move confirms that Turkey is preparing to extract oil and gas off the Somali coast. In an article in the Daily Sabah, Hassan Youssef Wal said that despite the security risks in Somalia, the Turks are working hard there, so they will be ahead of others in extracting oil and gas. However, he said the Somali oil and gas sector could now attract international oil companies. He also reminded that the example of many African countries can be given in the field of mineral resources, where despite having vast mineral resources, the people of the country have not developed. The challenge for Turkey will be to extract oil and gas and use it for the real development of the Somali people. Otherwise, Turkey's efforts will be in trouble. Turkey annexed Somalia a decade ago, citing its history of Turkish influence during the Ottoman Caliphate. Since then, Turkey has done everything it can to strengthen its position in Somalia. In the days ahead, especially after the International Court of Justice's ruling on maritime borders, Turkey will also make the utmost efforts to extract oil and gas off the coast of Somalia. If Kenya tries to thwart this effort, it will inspire Turkey to strengthen its military position in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Somalia. In other words, Turkey will establish a military position on the coast of Somalia to provide security for oil and gas extraction. Turkey's position in the Indian Ocean is still not worth mentioning. But Somalia is a great opportunity for Turkey, through which Turkey will be able to build a naval base on the most important sea route in the world.